Yes, once again, I'm back, your lovely friend, and today we'll be looking at another generational causes. Like I always say, I try to define generational causes. My own definition, yours may be different, I agree, all right? But my own definition are patterns, activities, and the challenges that tend to move from one generation to the other. And today, I'll be looking at the generational cause of dirtiness, uncleanliness, poor waste disposal system, and disease, epidemic. You see, having traveled the length and breadth of Nigeria, there's just one common factor: bad road, poor waste disposal system. You'll see it everywhere. Blocked drainages, littered road. It is just everywhere. One day I was like, wait, is it that we are not mentally developed enough to understand that throwing dirt out of our cars to the road is not good? I started thinking about it one day. Like, you will see a very beautiful car in your front, car that is worth several millions of naira, sometimes tens of millions. The window will just wind down and somebody throws something out. Why are we this dirty? Why are we this dirty? That's another generational cause, Your forefather did it. You are doing it. Children will likely do it. So the issue is, why are we like this? The cause of dirtiness. Have you gone around your streets? If you live in Nigeria, anywhere in Nigeria, go around your streets. I'm not talking about the highbrow estates. I'm talking about the general environment. Check the drainages. It's always littered. Drainages, some drainage that is 1 meter deep, dirt have taken over 500 centimeters already, more than half of the drainage. In fact, some places the drainage is full to the brim, filled with sachet water, bags, bottled water, empty bottles, all kind of things, littered everywhere. The question is, how did they get there? How did they get there? A human being is responsible. Who? Who is that human being? It's not the government this time. Cultural desire to be dirty, not taking responsibility for anything. In this new year, let's try to imbibe the habit of disposing our waste properly. When you block the drainage, you create breeding ground for diseases, not witches. Have you ever wondered why there are more witches in Mushin, Ajegunle, than in VGC? Have you ever wondered where there are likely to be more witches in, where will I mention now? In any city at all in Nigeria than the GRO is? The reason, one place is neat. It's neater than the other. And we always say cleanliness is next to godliness, which means dirtiness should be next to what? Devilishness, or satanism, whatever, or demon, or Lucifer, whatever. All right. So when you have this desire to be dirty, to throw waste all around you, you create a good breeding ground for mosquitoes, for example. And that's what you have in those places I've mentioned. Okay? Good mosquito breeding environment. They litter the whole place. Mosquitoes breed and, they are happy. They are grateful to God that you are giving them chance to multiply. They replenish and multiply very fast. And they come to deal with you. That's what I call collective stupidity. Everybody in the environment joins to destroy the environment, give mosquito a good breeding ground, and the mosquito comes to give us disease, and then we begin to run around looking for money to cure the disease. What do you call such a thing? Many of you don't know, malaria was actually a worldwide disease. You don't know, I just want to give you a little history. Malaria that you have today was at one time a worldwide disease, very prevalent in Europe. Only not at the polar region, but virtually everywhere you had mosquitoes, and you have malaria as in the disease itself. Don't forget, mosquito does not manufacture malaria, so let's get that clear. They are just carrier, which means they carry it from one person to the other. They themselves don't produce it, all right? So know that one if you don't. Okay, so malaria was a worldwide disease in the past. But the truth is, today, it's mostly endemic to Africa and maybe some part of Asia. So how come it is no longer in several other nations? Okay, so let's put that aside. Those other nations in Asia where you have a lot of malaria, even though majority is still in Africa, all right? Try and look at those nations. You'll discover that there's one big difference between the nations where you have malaria as endemic and nations where malaria is no longer endemic. And that one difference is cleanliness. I'm the one telling you, it's cleanliness. Okay? Cleanliness. They've learned to manage their drainage. They've learned to manage their waste disposal system, depriving mosquitoes chance to breed. So even if they have mosquito, it's not much, okay? Not up to the volumes we find in other parts of the world as one. They've also managed to eradicate malaria from the system through several schemes, okay? I'm not going to go into that now. But in Africa, we are not eradicating malaria. We are not even controlling the mosquito population. The two have to go. While you are dealing with malaria at one hand, you have to deal with the carrier as well. Because even if one person has malaria and you have a lot of carrier and they have access to that person, they will spread it. It's common knowledge. If the disease is in this cup, for example, you have malaria in this cup and it's just seated on this table, I have 1 million mosquitoes to suck out of the cup, they will spread it to 1 million individuals. So, while controlling the disease, you also have to control the vector. And one big way for controlling the vector now being the carrier of the disease, is not giving them opportunity to even breed. Deny them. You don't like malaria, I don't like it. Why do we give good breeding places? You know, you build bed, you put pillow, you put AC for mosquito. Why are we doing it? That's what you do when you litter the streets. Build a skyscraper, well air conditioned, well furnished for mosquitoes. That's what you're doing. If you do not know, that's exactly what you're doing. When you litter the streets, you are giving the mosquito the upper hand to keep breeding. And keep bringing surprises by spreading disease everywhere. You are indirectly responsible for those people who are sick in your neighborhood. Let's control the way we dispose our refuse. Keep them in a bin. You're in the car, put everything in the car. When you get out of the car, you wrap them in your nylon, dispose them properly. Dispose them properly. Nigerians, learn this today. And I want you to share this video. Share it to your friends. Share it to your friends. Every day you are in church, binding and casting demons responsible for this. All your children are sick. One is sick, every other one is. You don't know that it's the same mosquito that is biting everybody in the same house. You don't know. You have 6 children. When the youngest one, normally that's how it starts, the smallest one in the house who has a lower blood volume gets sick first, and then he move in that pattern, and then finally to the father and mother, and then begin to blame it on demons. You have mosquito in your house who have brought in malaria from anywhere, from anybody, anywhere, and And because you know it's a closed environment, the mosquitoes there will continue to feast. Use insecticide-treated bed net. Use it. And avoid littering your streets. Clear your drainages. Stop your drainage. Prevent your drainage from ever becoming a dam. It is called drainage. Gutter, that's what I'm saying. You call it drainage. Drainage simply means it's supposed to carry water away, not to store water. When it's beginning to store water, it's becoming a dam. If you want to turn it to a dam, put fishes. If you want it to become a dam, put fish. At least they will feed on the mosquito population. Let's stop hurting ourselves out of ignorance. And tomorrow you blame it on witches, the demons, the Satan, Lucifer, devil. Let's learn these things. The curse, the generational curse of diseases that have been moving around in your village that doesn't seem to have cure is because you are littering the streets. You are blocking your drainages. And mosquitoes continue to breed and continue to spread disease. You go to hospital after 3 days, you are back. You go to hospital after 1 week, you are back. It's the problem. That is just it. That's the problem. I've given you the solution already. That's the problem. I've treated malaria 50 times. Your body have become resistant. It's becoming too much. Every day they're always treating malaria. Why won't you? Is it not what you have? They've done. You've gone to do your blood test, and they are seeing malaria parasite. What do you want the doctor to tell you? Should tell you what he didn't see. Clean your environment. The sickness will just vanish by itself. The more you give opportunity to mosquito to breed, the more they hurt you. And the little funds you have, you keep spending it in the hospital. It's nobody's fault. And I'm not blaming any particular individual. That's why I use the word collective stupidity. It's a collective issue. We must collectively take responsibility to deal with the collective problem. You stop littering the street. Beg your neighbors to stop doing it. Always clean your drainage. Don't wait for the government. Those mosquitoes don't go biting people in power. Mosquito in your village will not go and bite the governor. So don't be waiting for the government to clear it. You are hurting yourself. You are harming yourself. It's government duty to clear the drainage, my dear brother. Those mosquitoes don't know government. They will bite anybody they see and give you the disease they have. Do you understand? Do you understand? It's like your house is collapsing. You say it's government responsibility. Is it government that the house will collapse upon? It will collapse on you. Fix it. Fix it. Beg your neighbors to take responsibility. I'm not saying the government is so good, but you must learn to understand that the government will not spend money for you in the hospital. So whatever is taking money away from your hand in the form of disease, if you can deal with it, why not do it? Should you wait for somebody who you don't even know whether the person will come or not? If the government comes to clear the drainage, good and fine. But the issue is stop littering the drainage and always keep it clean. If you can do this for yourself, you will save a lot of money this year. Because malaria drugs are becoming more expensive. If you don't want to do it, I'll be happy. You know, say now my area be that. I have a lot of drugs to sell. So please, if you prefer to buy my drug, good and fine. Make your choice. Thank you.